Just before we get into today's team reveal, just would like to say that there's only 4 spots left in my SuperCoach League. The code is 511319. It is a head-to-head league just because I think those are a lot more fun. So there's only 4 spots left, so make sure you join. I'm going to be going through this quite quick. I did a team reveal, I think, around last week, almost a week ago. But I just thought I'd do a final team review because my team has changed quite a bit and we have the first team list Tuesday. So Corey Pakes and Sandon Smith are my hookers. I have the money to go to someone like a Tom Starling. I'm just kind of split 50-50 between them at the moment. I might not even go Tom Starling. I'm just going to use that 127k to upgrade if I have to next week when the second team lists do come out. But I think I am pretty keen on Corey Pakes. I think he will start, and because of how cheap he is, even if he does at least get 40 points, I think there's going to be some value there. And then Sam Smith, I don't really have to talk about him much. He's a goal kick in 5'8". He's in pretty much everyone's team. Terrell May is my captain. I just think he's going to be great. The fact that he still was able to average close to 60 with only 45 minutes. And this year, he's probably going to be playing around 65 minutes. He's going to play a big role this year. And I really like Terrell May. Front rows, Aaron Clark, Corey Horsburgh, and then Ben Takura. I think Aaron Clark is probably going to play big minutes. Apparently, Dylan Walker was training at centre. So with him being in a number 14, that might mean that he's only going to be used to come on unless there's an injury. Because last year in Vegas, they went out there bashing each other around. Heaps of people were bleeding all over the place in the first 5 minutes of Vegas. So I think that's what they're going to use Dylan Walker for this year. And the Warriors, they just have such an injury-prone team, I feel like. So Aaron Clark should be there and playing big minutes. Corey Horsburgh and Bentakura, like I said already. Corey Horsburgh starting at prop. That makes me really like him a lot this year. I'm really keen on Corey Horsburgh, but he's also in pretty much everyone's team, so I don't really have to talk about him. Bentakura hopefully can jag a bench spot on the Broncos. It's either going to be him or Royce Hunt, but I think Bentakura has a bit more attacking upside. Second row is Connor Watson. He's there just in case one of these 2 cheapy hookers don't work out. And he's also just solid. I think he's a little bit undervalued due to some injury games last year. But he averages 66 in games above 60 minutes. So I think Connor Watson's going to be good. Zach Hoshkin, he's not really a bit of a pod anymore. I think I got him on Tuesday when he was starting. And there's no Matty Nicholson in the Raiders team. So that means he should be playing 80 minutes on an edge. And he just has such a good work rate, such a good PPM. And he also has a good attacking upside as well. I think Zach Hoshkin is going to be really good this year. Alex Seyfarth averages 63 in games where he starts on an edge, and he should have that edge role locked up. He was given a captaincy as well in the trial matches, so that just means Benji really trusts him, and I think Alex Seyfarth is out for a breakout year. I also think Kelma Tuolangi's in for a breakout year this year. We see it when people play on Moses' side on the Parramatta Eels. We saw Papali'i have a breakout year, and we saw Bryce Cartwright have a breakout year when they first started playing on Moses' side. So that's why I really like Kelma Tuolangi. And then Kobe Hetherington made 37 tackles in the trial match. He has a decent work rate and he should be playing lock. I like him a bit more than Brennan Piakura, and he's a bit cheaper as well. And I just feel like Kobe Hetherington's a lot safer. Next up, I got Katonga. Might start on an edge for the Parramatta Eels, which would just be great. But if not, he can at least drag a bench spot. I think he's going to be out for a breakout year as well. He's going to be really exciting. Halfbacks, Nathan Cleary and Tom Duffy. Tom Duffy just looked really good in the trial match, especially against Melbourne, and I think you just got to start with him. Even though he is a bottom dollar cheapie, he is goal kicking, there's got to be value there for sure. And then Nathan Cleary, I feel like it's better to go with Cleary over Hines. The Panthers have such a good draw to start the year. They play Sharks in Vegas. I could see him, I don't see him getting 150 round 1 in that game, but I could easily see him bunging out a solid 80. And then that next week against a pretty understrength Roosters team, I reckon he could go great on that. And he also plays the Rabbitohs, I think, in the first 5 and the Cowboys in the first 5. So I really like Nathan Cleary's draw to start the year. Luke Metcalf and Dylan Brown. Luke Metcalf got given a halfback duel, so that's really good for him. And then Dylan Brown, I think the Eels are going to be a lot better this year. I reckon they're going to make the finals. And Dylan Brown, he's quite undervalued, like I said last week, because of the games he played at halfback. So Dylan Brown playing 5'8". He's also playing for a contract this year. I think he's going to be really good. Wingers and centres, Garrick and Dylan Lucas I've gone with. I really like Dylan Lucas. He averaged 71 in his 80-minute games playing on the back row. And because the Knights had a lot of injuries last year, he was constantly switching between back row and centre. So I reckon he's had a full preseason at the back row where he averaged 71 last year. Such good attacking upside as well. He got 2 tries against Melbourne, and then the next week he ended up getting a really good try against the Panthers last year. So he can score against good teams, and he can also just has such a good work rate. Dylan Lucas is such an undervalued, solid player, and I really like him this year. Ruben Garrick, pretty much 100k undervalued compared to other years. He's the cheapest he's been in 4 years. I'd say he's a must-have, to be honest. Ali Leotawa, he's a bit of a pod. I think he's around 5% owned. He's gone up a little bit since teamless, but this guy looks like an absolute freak. I think he's out for a breakout year as well. And he's also one of those guys who scored well against good teams. He had a really good debut against Penrith last year at Measure Ground. Seren Fainu, don't have to talk about him much. He scored 4 tries in the first half. He is injured, but it's only a head knock, and he got that in the trial matches, so he should be named for next week. And then Alex Brimson, I really like Brimson. He averaged 69 in games. He played 5'8" for last year, and he's going to be playing 5'8" for this year with Kieran Foran going down with a bicep injury. So even though he does have a bye in round 1, it just means you can use him as a loop this week. And then next week, he'll be back where he averages 69 in the halves. The Titans have a decent draw to start the year, and you can put him in the centres too, which is even better. Jackson Purdue and Robert Toya, don't have to talk about them much. They're 2 solid cheapies that I think will go really well. Fullbacks, Callum Ponga, Tom Trbojevic, and Isaiah Iongi. I'm still really keen on Iongi. He just played so good in the trial matches, and I just felt there's so much value there. He could easily jump up to 500k in the first 6 or 7 weeks, and that's when you can flick him to someone like a Reece Walsh or even a Clint Gutherson. Guffo looked really good in the trial matches. I don't really have the balls to start with Gutherson, but I could maybe see him being decent. And then Ponga and Turbo, probably the 2 best fullbacks to start with. I'm not going to talk about them much. So that's pretty much it. This team probably won't change much. I think I basically have it set as it is right now. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Join my league because there is only 4 spots left, and I'll see you in the next video.